Welcome, boiglings! I am the expert, the master of disaster for one and only boys here, Sonoma Australia. And today we're going to be doing an extension of the Let's Learn stream, which is a tutorial stream. Hopefully this weather doesn't cause issues. Give me just a second, if you will. Give me just a second. I got to take care of a couple things here real quick. It's a little scuffed, but you know how it goes. I gotta take care of a couple things. I hit the wrong button. So today what we're going to be doing, if you haven't figured it out, is we're going to be going back to the original Final Fantasy VII, and we are going to be talking about the Materia system. You make me wondering, why am I going to the Materia system? Well, because a lot of people have issues with the Materia system. So what I'm going to be doing is, I'm going to be explaining how the Materia system works. I am going to tell you where to find each Materia, what each Materia does, etc, etc. And I will try my darndest to explain how to maximize your Materia usage. Give me a second. Let me move this window. It cannot like me doing that. I had to reset my controller for this. I don't know why. It worked fine first time, and then it's like, nah, I don't want to work again. So, the Materia system. We're gonna go over here, a cloud. We're going to remove everything off a cloud. So, let's talk about the Materia slots first. So, a thing that people tend to have issues with in regards to the Materia slots, I'll put this off for now, is how does the Materia slots work? Which is not that hard to figure out, but some people, such as, say, a certain crow or raven, might be one. I'm not calling anyone out. Nope. May have some issues keeping all of this in mind. So, if you see Materia slots like this, where it's just by itself, the Materia will not act together with any other Materia. If you see Materia slots linked together like this, like in the center, then that means you can pair it up with another Materia. Now, I'll go over this in a little bit. This means that if there's a linked slot like here, it can become a weapon. These work together with the blue Materia. That is what the linked Materia slots are for, specifically, or for the blue Materia. So keep that in mind. That's something to remember. What did I have on you? Did I have Misstyle? Yes. Now, early on in the game, you're not going to have that much Materia. For example, you're going to have the Buster Sword, and you're going to have the Bronze Bangle, so you're going to have like 2 Materia slots. Now, as you progress through the game, you'll end up getting some pieces of equipment, if I can find it, that will give you something like double growth. What this means is, whenever you earn AP after battles, if you have something that has double growth, any materia in that armor or weapon, whatever has the growth, will gain double AP. Now, you may also notice some of them have nothing for growth, meaning anything in that slot on that piece of equipment will get no AP whatsoever. I might have. I know Remake Part 3 looks amazing, doesn't it? Now, there are two pieces of equipment in the entire game. They're both weapons that will give you triple AP. If I recall, you can miss one of these in a in a place you cannot go back to. Only on the PS1. Yeah, I'm just talking about the Materia system, okay, so it's not gonna be anything super fancy. It's an extension of the Let's Learn, stream. But more geared towards what I know, trying to help people out. So, the main thing about the magic materia, you equip it, you get access to whatever magic's on there. Now, that only means whatever magic, whatever level it's leveled up to. So if you equip a level 1 cane, you will only get access to freeze. I can't actually go to the ability list. I have not tried that. I've seen it, but I have not tried it. So, if you want to use Break on this materia, you have to level it up to level 2, so you need 5,000 AP to get a level 2. So when you get a level 2, you'll have access to both Freeze and Break. When you master a materia, you will get access to all of the abilities, and when you master a materia, you'll get a new copy of the materia. Now, there's a rule about this. If your materia bag is completely filled up and you get a new materia, from leveling up to max, you will not get that extra materia. It will be gone forever. Rebalances everything, retranslates some of the more ambiguous story elements, adds a swale class system, added unside content. Yeah, I remember seeing that. I don't remember who I saw it from, though. Yeah, I remember that. I don't remember who I saw play the new threat mod, but I remember seeing someone play that. I'm gonna get my, buttons mixed up. So, what is the big thing about magic materia? As you can see from the equip effect, it reduces your physical stats, but increases your magic stats. So whenever you equip some of the lower tier stuff, it will decrease strength and max HP, and it will increase magic and max MP. Now, the higher level magic, such as Barrier, Comet, Time, Destruct, they increase the penalties and buffs you get compared to the lower tier ones, and it adds in Vitality and max defense. Now, beyond that, such as Cane, Full Cure, Sealed, and Ultima, it doubles it compared to the lower ones, as you can see. When you master all magic materia, and you break it to Cosmo Canyon on Disc 3, you can trade all of the master magic materia you have. You have to have at least one copy of all of the magic materia mastered, and you will get master magic. which does not give you any buffs or penalties, but it gives you access to every spell in the game. I don't remember that bit. That's something I don't remember. So green materia, all magic. Debuffs your physical stats, buffs your magic stats. We'll go over each of these in a little bit. Blue materia. They are specifically for link materia slots. Again, these are slots like these. They are not slots like, they are not like this. They must be like this. You can see the difference between unlinked and linked slots. Give me my thing back. So, the blue materia, called support materia, you use mostly with magic. So with Quadra Magic, you can pair any spell together. Let me get into a fight here. Come on. So this is going to be a bit glitchy, because this is, on, you know, a thing. So, let's see what Quad Magic looks like. Yeah, there's black boxes. So this is Quad Magic. Never mind. They're too weak. Basically, it would cast it 4 times. Yeah, there's gonna be graphical glitches because I haven't updated anything in, like, forever. It would have cast that 4 times. Using it with Ultima was probably a bad idea. Let me try that with, like... Let me use Gravity. His focus off. So we have Gravity. I did not put that in the wrong spot, okay. But you get the idea. Again, I'll deal with the graphical glitches later. So, here is Quadra Magic with Gravity. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I forget if it hates, no, it only hates 1 casting, I believe. But as you can see, it's now limited to 4x instead of 5x. So, you do have limited usage on, the, Quadra Magic materia in particular. And when you hit 0, you can't quad cast it anymore. You can use this with... You can use this materia with magic. You're welcome. One day I will redo the FF8 walkthrough. One day. But that requires me having, you know, the FF8 remaster version, which, who knows what that'll happen. So, Quadra Magic works with both magic materia and summon materia. So if you really wanted to, you could equip, like, Quadcast, Bahamut Zero. I don't think it actually works with Knights of the Round. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it doesn't work with Knights of the Round. Let me go check. Yeah, I remember that. I remember some of the stuff in there. I remember the Cloud optional fight in the new threat mod being kinda nice. Does this work with... Wait, you can You can quadcast Knights of the Round. Oh. That's interesting. Oh yeah, I remember that. Okay, so you can't quadcast Knights of the Round. So that's kinda silly. I couldn't remember if you could or couldn't. Now, the fun thing is, I do believe this applies to... Yep, it applies to the Master Magic Materia. You cannot quadcast Resist. Apparently, you can just AoE these with... You can AoE these with Quad Magic? Really? Really, you can AoE with Quad Magic on. Apparently, you can AoE with, Oh, that's because... Wow, you can AoE with Quad Magic. And with... Where is it? Master Summon. Master Summon gives you an unlimited usage of all the summons right away. So you can infinitely summon without having to worry about what level your summon materia is at. Because when you have a Master Summon materia, it will only have 5 uses. A Master Summon, it will have infinite uses, so you don't have to worry about that. However, you cannot quadcast Knights of the Round on Master Summon. That's what I was remembering. So you can do it off of the normal summon. But you cannot do it off of you cannot do it off of the Master Summon. That's weird. Why? I'm not quite sure why that is. Okay, sir. Whatever you say. So that's, Blue Materia. We'll go over each of these later. That's just, with magic and summons for that one. Some of these only work with, Command Materia, which is the yellow materia. Command Materia gives you access to additional abilities, such as Manipulate, Mime, Death Blow. They also might give you some additional stats, but, I mean, the stat boosts kind of don't really matter from them. You equip these if you want to use, like, additional abilities, like Steel. Some of them's really good, some of them you're probably never gonna use, like, you're probably never gonna use Throw or Coin that much. Purple Materia, which are called Independent Materia, these are renamed to be called Complete Materia in Remake and Rebirth. I don't know why they renamed it Complete, I don't understand. But, I mean, you know, these are mostly to give stat boosts or additional effects like cover, and lets you counter, lets all your hacks, your magic, your commands, they all get the effects of targeting all enemies, etc, etc. And then you got your summons, which are very strong abilities, with their limited usage. So there's that. Now, let's go over each of these materia. We'll go over that later. So, Master Magic. You get this by mastering all magic materia. And on Disc 3, in Cosmo Canyon, assuming you have the huge materia, you must have gotten all 4 huge materia. If you do not get all the huge materia, you're not going to be able to get all of the master materia. So, you master all, you must have at least one of each magic materia in the game master. And then you go Cosmo Canyon. You go to the green huge materia, and you trade in all of the master magic materia you have, and get Master Magic, which gives you all of the spells of the game. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to get on my chocobo. So, where that is, the game's going to be a little laggy because this is like a really old version of the thing. I don't know if they ever updated it. Where are you at? So you go over here on disc 3. Not there, but over here. You go all the way up to where Yugehagen is. Spoilers! There are going to be spoilers here. You go all the way here to get your Master Magic Materia. Now for Ultima Materia, you go all the way to... Where is it? You go here on disc 2. You go here on with Sig. I don't need my chocobo. So you go here during disc 2, during the story, during the huge Materia side or main quest. And in order to get the Ultima Materia, you either stop the train, which gets you the Ultima Materia for free. You fail to stop the train, which destroys Corel. Meaning, you have to pay 50,000 gil, I believe, to get the Ultima Materia. Or, you can permanently miss the Ultima Materia if you fail to even catch up with the train in the first place. How you manage to do that is beyond me. That's not hard to catch up with the train. But you can permanently miss this materia. It's one of the only magic materias in the game you can miss. Also, if for some reason you sell the Ultima Materia, which I don't know why you would ever sell it, you can never get another copy of it. So you will lock yourself out of getting the Master Magic Materia. I don't think Phoenix does. I'm not sure if Phoenix does. We'll get to that in a little bit. So Ultima is your strongest magic spell in the game. It does AoE magic damage, you saw it earlier. It costs a lot of MP. It's a very expensive spell. However, by the time you get Ultima, you don't really need Ultima. Really. It's not like Final Fantasy VI where you're gonna sit there and like quadcast Ultima until hell freezes over. It's not like that. It's still very strong. You're just never really gonna use it much. And it only has one level. So it requires 5,000 AP in order to even use the spell. Again, I think it requires like 100,000 AP a master. Maybe more. I forget how much it requires a master. The sealed materia. Where did you get the sealed materia? You only get one copy of the sealed materia. And I'm having trouble remembering where you get this. Oh, is this, I think this is in the Northern Crater, right? Is it the Northern Crater? I believe it's in the Northern Crater. Where in the Northern Crater? I don't remember is the problem. Yes, you get it in the Northern Crater. I just don't remember where in the Northern Crater. Was it in the room with the Mako pools? Yeah, Ultima is kinda underwhelming in this game. But I do believe you get in the Mako pool area. It's not a status what Seal does, and you only get one copy of this, you can't get two through a glitch. So you can't get two of these by doing a glitch. But, that's not what I wanted. What Seal does is it nullifies all physical damage, all non-elemental damage, and it absorbs all elemental damage. But it doesn't last very long. It lasts for a very, very short duration. But it basically makes you invincible for like a very brief period of time. Why you would ever need this? You shouldn't ever really need this. It's really not a necessary materia. It's not really, like, you're never really gonna hurt for it. If you're wondering where it's at, it is somewhere inside the final dungeon, which is right here. So it's inside here, and I believe it's like a Mako pool. You'll even need it when you're finding Emerald and Ruby weapon legit. You really don't ever need it. It's never really needed. Cloud, why are you there? Go there, Cloud. So you, honestly, in my opinion, you don't really need the materia. You can use it, but you don't really need it. Now, the, Full Cure materia. You also get this in Cosmo Canyon. You get this on Disc 3 by going to the item shop. And you go behind the item shop in order to get it. So again, if you don't know where Cosmo Canyon is, it's right here. You go there to get it. And it's in the item shop on Disc 3. So, Full Cure, it has uses. You can use it. It fully restores all HP. You can only use it on one character, though. So, while it does fully restore HP, you're better off using, like, other things. Shield might help you against that. But really, you shouldn't ever have that happening anyways. But yeah, Full Cure, you can only get one copy of this. It's not missable, but if you sell it, you can't get another copy of it. Same thing with the Shield materia. Kahane. Where do you get the Kahane materia? That's one of what spells? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Kahane? Oh, okay, I remember where Kahane materia is. It's been a while, so I forget some things. Kahane materia, in order to get this materia, you have to do this Disc 2 or onwards. And I think you could do this before, is it before or after Miguel is destroyed? And you have to give the, White Chocobo a Mimicry. Was it a Mimicry? I think it was a Mimicry. It was you're a Mimic or a Silcus Green. I think you have to give it. And then you scratch behind its ear. That's what you gotta do. Miguel is right here. The White Chocobo you can easily find. You can only get one copy of this materia. It's not missable. It gives you access of Freeze, Break, Tornado, and Flare. You can never AoE cast these. And they're just basically the strong versions of elements. So you have basically Glissaja, Baraja, Quakeja. And this is one of your only wind elemental spells in the game. You do not get a arrow materia. I don't know why there's no arrow materia, because you see arrow 3 used as an enemy ability, but there's no arrow materia. So it's weird that you see arrow 3, but you never see arrow and arrow 2, and your only wind magic is tornado. Why? I don't know. And you can see if they can inflict stasis, confusion, petrify, and stop. Do you really need these spells? Again, not really. You will hear me say this a lot, because I've played this game over 100 times, so I know what I'm doing. But if you're playing the game for like the first time or whatnot, you can find the usage for these materials. You can probably find some use. They're not bad. They're very expensive, but like, if you're looking to conserve MP, you don't really need these. And they do kind of wreck your physical stats. Like 10% max HP is kind of a big bump. I mean, you see how much that reduces your MP by, or HP by here. It's a lot. It's a substantial amount. Now, Destruct. You can buy more Destruct materia later. If I'm not mistaken, you could get infinite Destruct materia. You can buy it at Fort Condor after, Disc 2. If you don't get yourself booting out. If you fail to stop the attack, the last attack on Fort Condor during the huge materia quest, you are permanently banned from Fort Condor, so you can't permanently miss any materia there, including the Sop for the old materia and the Phoenix materia. The earliest you can get this is at Cinema Manor on Disc 1. And as you can see, it gives you the D-Barrier, D-Spell, and Death abilities. Here's the thing about these. You never need any of this. D-Barrier is specifically for Barrier and M-Barrier, and you don't see that happen very often in the game. It's so rare that you ever see that. A D-Spell, which is mistranslated Dispel, you don't see enemies really give themselves buffs. So, this is useless, because this does that but better. And this is useless because enemies don't buff themselves, really. And Death, I mean, it's Death. Death is, like, not ever useful. It's hardly useful. And in this game, you don't really need Death. So, Destruct materia is completely useless. Except in one situation, which we'll go into later. High materia. You can buy this. High materia is kind of useful early on. Let me see what the percentage on Death is. If I recall, it's like a 66% chance. It is a 44% success rate. So you have a 44% success rate, or a 44% chance of inflicting, death. It's even for what the enemies use. Like, enemies still have a 44% chance of using, hitting you with the spell. They have their own versions of death, though. So yeah, Destruct materia, mostly useless. High materia, more useful. haste is always useful. Now, there is one specific ability in the game that makes haste useless. But if you don't have that ability, then you'll want this. Now, if you manage to get this accessory, then haste is obviously useless. But otherwise, haste very useful, and you can use this with all Materia. Same with slow. Slow is exceptionally useful. There is an item in the game that is slow, but better. And I will talk about that in a little bit. So, you have haste, you have slow, and stop. I mean, stop does work, but like, it's never useful. You don't really need stop. You're better off just hacking or doing anything else than using stop. Slow is good if you don't have the item. And the item in question is the spider web, which is an AoE version of stop. Why does that look weird? There's something weird going on with that. Huh. Anyways, so you could get this for replacing the slow spell. You could get these from morphing. I think it's either morphing or skilling them from maximum chimeras in Gongaga. Me, Gongaga. You, Gongaga. Them, Gongaga. And if you're wondering where Gongaga is, you get here during Disc 1. It is right over here. You go here, you fight, prey mantis enemies, and you morph them, I believe, or skill. You can get the spider web as early as Midgar in the, Sector 5 subway, I believe, before you go to the Sector 5, reactor. There's an enemy called the Graster Strike that you can win them from. And that's very important early on if you're doing a challenge run, like a item-only run or solo character run. Otherwise, get the time area. It's very useful. It's a very useful area, if only for haste and slow. Comet. You can only get one comet materia. I don't think you can ever miss the comet materia. But you can only get one. And again, if you sell it, or if you don't have enough, materia slots for a new comet materia, when you master it, you can no longer get any more of it. You can only get one. And the comet materia is over here. You go here during the end of Disc 1. You can only find one. So comet is a materia that I say is worth using. Even the base comet spell is really strong early, or when you get it. It costs a lot of MP, but it is a very strong spell. Is it better than using, say, Kane? That depends. It actually depends. If you find something that's weak to fire, ice, wind, or earth, Kane might be better. Otherwise, Comet. Comet is gonna be your strongest spell. Outside of, like, Kane. Is it needed? Probably not. You can go through the game without materia for the most part. If that tells you how easy the game is. You can't beat the game without having to worry about materia. At all. Comet... Comet is very strong. Comet Who is even better. Now, Comet Who is better against single targets because you're fighting multiple enemies. It will randomize who gets hit. So Comet Who becomes less useful when you're fighting more enemies. I don't know. It should do more damage than Comet if you're fighting one enemy. So it's still useful. You don't really need it. But if you're looking for magic damage, get the Comet Materia. Barrier, you can find this later on. It's also a useful Materia if you don't have a specific ability, which we'll get to. So Barrier, you can buy this in the shop. I think it's like 10,000 gil, if I recall correctly. It gives you Barrier, so it halves physical damage. Barrier halves magic damage. Wall, which gives you both Barrier and Barrier, and Reflect, which reflects spells up to 4 times, which is completely different from like every other Reflect spell like the series. There's a glitch involving one specific enemy, and you have an auto-reflect. I believe there's something that gives you auto-reflect. Right? Was it a mirror? No, it wasn't a mirror. It was a reflect ring. So this does not have reflect wear off. But if you fight that one specific enemy and you cast the spell, you can't get out the fight. Ever. Barrier and Barrier... Yeah, Barrier and Barrier and Wall, they are infinitely useful. Especially if you use it with the Ultimate area. Now, because of how the ATB system works in this game, it will wear off relatively quickly. But they are still very useful. And Reflect is actually kind of useless, I feel like. You're almost never going to use the Reflect spell, I feel. Sure, there's some enemies that will use a lot of magic, but like... you never really need Reflect. It's kind of just there. Gravity. You can buy this early on. It gives you access to Gummy 2 and Gummy 3, so reduces HP by 25%, 50%, and 75%. There's a couple uses for Gummy in the game. There are a couple uses for Gummy. But for the most part, you're never going to use Gummy. And this is one of the only ways to do gravity damage. Now, fun fact. The Emerald weapon, one of the super bosses, he is weak to gravity. So if you use like, if you use, say, like, Master Magic and Quadra Magic, or, you know, like, Master Magic and, Gravity, you can quad cast this on Emerald Weapon for a free, for about 40,000 damage, regardless of the gravity spell, every time you use quad cast with, gravity. And there is one enemy in the game where if you cast gravity on it, say you cast, like, Gummy 2 on that enemy, he instantly dies. It is the only enemy in the game where if you cast Gummy 2 or Gummy 3, he dies. He will outright die. Why? Because he's weak to gravity. I don't know. I don't understand why it's just outright kill. Fun fact. The Poison Materia, the first one you could get, which is in the Sinra headquarters in Disc 1, there is a couple enemies where if you cast bio on them, I don't think it matters which bio spell. It might matter if your weapon has poison on it, actually. It will instantly kill them. So yes, you can instantly kill enemies with elemental weaknesses sometimes. Anywho, bio does poison damage. It's very expensive. It also has a chance to inflict poison. Fun fact, I never use bio. Bio is... like, it's not really ever useful. It's good for damage if you really need damage, but you don't really ever need it. There is 1 or 2 bosses you can poison with bio. And if you poison one of them, you can just sit there and let the let poison kill it. Which is bottoms well at Junon. I forget if you can poison Materia Keeper or not. It's been a long time. There might be some other bosses you can poison, but like overall, bio, not useful. Exit. You can buy this for I think 10,000 starting at Rocket Town. You don't need Exit. Exit is a useless materia. Escape lets you run away without having to deal with enemies. Remove just outright removes all enemies from battle, and it has a chance of not working. You do not get EXP, AP, guild, or items from any enemies that are hit by this ability. Absolutely useless materia. You're never gonna use it. Buy it, level it up for the master magic, but don't use it. It's useless. Transform. This is actually a pretty useful materia. So mini reduces enemies attack and defense to 1, I believe. Or it just like really hampers it. Hogue does the same thing, but it also prevents them from being able to use magic. So both of these are very useful, and in some fights, you're going to want to have Hogue in particular. So Mini is useful, but Hogue is a better Mini. And in some fights, I think you can start getting Transform starting at Gone Gaga. So if you don't have this, get it. Especially if you don't get one of the enemy's skill abilities. You're gonna find this useful in some fights, especially with some of the more nastier enemies. Mystify, I think, starts at Gone Gaga. You're never gonna use this materia. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. Confuse and Berserk, never really gonna use. Now, you can use Berserk and make enemies not use magic. Or you can use Berserk on yourself and give yourself an attack buff. But overall, there's no reason to use Confuse. Confuse, in every game that I ever see it in, is almost useless for the player. You're almost never going to use Confuse. Berserk is very situational. So, get it, level it up, don't really use it. Seal, it has Sleep and Silence. I forget when you get this, I think it's at Junon. So Sleep and Silence. Again, you really never need these. Neither one of these materias or spells are useful. Putting someone to sleep is you're just wasting a turn, unless you use pure magic and never wake them up. And silence, most of the time when you use silence, I mean, blocking magic can be useful, but like, sometimes you don't want them to use their other non-magic spells. So it's not really that useful. Revive. Revive is useful. You get this at do not. Get this immediately. It's always good to have life. It's expensive, but it's useful. It is very useful. If you don't have Phoenix Downs, which if you don't have Phoenix Downs, what's wrong with you? Then always, always, always have life on at least one party member. If you can't, get on all 3 party members. And when you level it up, it gives you life too. Very expensive. Goal, revive. And I believe you can use this with all, right? You can use it with all, so you can AoE cast it if you need to. Get this materia. It is a very useful materia. Very useful. Heal? I mean, the heal materia, poisoner, you really don't need to worry about poison too much in the game. There's better ways of dealing with poison. Esuna has uses. If you don't have a specific ability, yeah, it is a little annoying that's tied to a materia, I will agree. If you don't have a specific ability, you're probably going to want Esuna. And if you don't have remedies, you're probably going to want Esuna. The problem with Esuna is you're not going to use it very much in the game. At all. And Resist is a unique spell that locks your status in. If you have, say, like, no status effects on, and you use Resist, you can no longer be affected by any status effects, good or bad. Now, say you have Mini on, and you use Resist on yourself, guess what? You cannot be affected by any statuses, but you can no longer remove, statuses. So say you use Resist, and you have Mini on, you can't get rid of Mini anymore. And this is bad in the Battle Arena, because the Battle Arena, if you get hit by like Hogue or Mini, and you don't have natural immunity to it by the ribbon, this does not prevent that. And if you get hit by Hogue or Mini, and you have Resist on, guess what? You're stuck as a Hogue or Mini. So it's never useful. It's not really that useful. And if you have the ribbon, why do you need this? And it's not hard to get ribbons, actually. Restore materia, you get this at the start of the game. Have everyone with the restore materia. There is no reason you should not have every party member in the game with a restore materia. If you don't have 7 restore materias, shame on you. Shame on you. Because this materia is useful, it heals you. Ignore regen. Regen is kinda useless. But at the start of the game, Cure is gonna full heal you. For like most of Disc 1. And then Cure 2 is gonna full heal you. For most of Disc 1, for the rest of Disc 1, and for probably half of Disc 2. And Cure 3 is just overkill for the most part. I love how they all have the same description. Regen is useless. You're never gonna use regen. It is the most important materia in the game. Have Restore. There's no reason to not have it. And then you have Fire, Ice, Earth, and Lightning. Now, Fire, Ice, and Lightning are available at the start of the game, or you get starting at Calm. They all give you the elemental spell, so Fire, Ice, Quake, and Bolt. You might as well get 3 of each, just so you have Fire, Ice, Earth, and Lightning. But Earth is the least important one, because there's going to be a lot of enemies that are flying, where Earth doesn't affect them. And enemies weak at Earth are so rare, you're just not going to run into those enemies very often. Fire, Ice, and Lightning, they're more useful, and if you know what the enemy's weak to, you're probably going to use these spells over, like, anything else. Especially if you have, like, all materia. Like, early on, all and lightning is going to be your bread and butter. You're going to be using that a lot. And even against, like, bosses, you're going to be using, the spells more. Like, in Midgar, at the start of the game, you're going to be using lightning a lot. So get 3 lightning materias, get 3 ice, and 3 fires. Don't worry too much about the earth materia. And that's all the magic materia in the game. I don't think there's any other magic materia I'm missing, right? Let me just make sure, because sometimes I might have something on someone else. No, that's all the magic materia. So coming up next is support materia. So the support materia is interesting, to say the least. Give me just a second. So many times you went into the battle arena just to get thrown out of battle. Same here. Same here. So, again, support materia. You use it in linked slots. And these work primarily with magic, which is green, and summon, which is red. Now, some of them do work with yellow, which is command. Quadra Magic works with green materia and red materia. And as you can see, it allows you to quadcast whatever materia you have on. It only allows you to quadcast up to 5 times. So it allows you to quadcast up to the materia's level. Where you get Quadra Magic? Which one was it? It's in one of the materia caves. Which materia cave is that? I think this is the materia cave you could collect to. Let me see if I could do that. It's the one by Miguel. That's right, it's the one by Miguel. So you have to get a blue chocobo normally to get here. No, you don't need a blue chocobo, you just need like a, is it a green chocobo? Let's see if I can collect this. There's a way of collecting this. Darn. Hold on. I can do this. I've done this before. It's just really finicky. I just don't remember how I used to do this. How did I do this? It was from here, right? Crap. Crap. It's from here. I remember that. Oh, I don't remember how to do this glitch now. How did I do this glitch? It's from this spot, I remember that. It's from this spot. So anyways, you need a green or blue chocobo to get this Materia cave, which is right over here. So you go all the way down here and get that Materia. It was over there, right? Is that the right spot? Am I at the right spot? Oh no, it was over here. My bad. Wait, was it over here? Is it this one? Oh, it's over here. Oh, I was at the wrong spot. There we go. That's how you get down here. You go to this spot and you hold right after you land while holding square. And there you go. That's how you glitch down here to get this Materia cave. So you can get the Quadra Magic from there. It took me a little bit to remember how to get that. Anyways, that's Quadra Magic. Steel as well. Where do you get this? I believe you get this at, Wuhai, at the, God Chow statue, if I'm not mistaken. Which, you have to have the, I believe you have to have the, what's it called? The Leviathan scales to get. So you use this with any Materia, so it can be used with magic, command, or summon. So let's say I do it with this. I don't know if this is actually gonna work. If you're wondering where Wuhai is on the map, Wuhai is, in fact, right over here. So there's Wuhai. So let's see if this works with double cut. It might not work with double cut. Can I have this enemy? Thank you. Doesn't work with double cut. It does not. So it doesn't work with double cut. But as you can see all the commands not what we're talking about. Taken from locally. So it doesn't work with every Materia. Let's try this again, but let's try it with, like, say, Death Blow. You know what? Let's try it with Steel. No, Death Blow. I think it might work with Steel, I'm not sure. You know what? I'm gonna make this easier again in fights. Where is it? Wow, I don't have the Materia. Does someone have my Materia? Who's got my Materia? Someone has my materia. There it is. Alright, so give me a second. You have it. You're gonna get that. I'm gonna clear up some space here. You got enemy lure. There we go. I did, organize this again, right? Yes. So let's see if this works with, Death Blow. It should. Death Blow. There we go. Yep, you saw it. It works with Death Blow. So it does work with most materia. It works with, offensive magic materia. It works with all summons, I believe. You can stick this on, Knights of the Round. If you really wanted to. Just put it on Knights of the Round. And just quad cast it and you'll have like a million chances to steal. That is steal as well. Added Cut is a unique materia. If you put it on any of these, other materias, magic, command, or summon, it will give you one regular, physical attack to whatever target you target with the ability. Now, warning! If you use this with Master Command, if you use item with Master Command and Added Cut, say you use an elixir on yourself, you're gonna hit yourself with a physical attack. So be warned about that. And where you can find Added Cut, you only get one Added Cut materia. You cannot miss this. Just like with Steel as well, you only get one of those. I don't know if you can miss Steel as well, though. I don't think you can. But, over here, at the Great Glacier, you can find the Added Cut materia on a very specific path. It is kinda annoying to find. If I ever get around to it, I might do a guide on where to find every materia in the game. That requires having to play through the entire game again, though. Land. Which, I mean, it wouldn't take me too long to do, but, I mean, that is gonna take a while to do. Anyways, that's Added Cut. Final Attack. You only get one Final Attack materia in the game. This is your reward for... You have to get Omni Slash, and you have to get, W Summon? Is it W Summon you get from the, Ballerina? It might be W Summon. I could be wrong. Give me a second. Yes, you get this from, the Ballerina for getting, Omni Slash and, W Summon. I still think it's W Summon. And then you beat the special battle, and you get the, Final Attack materia. So that's how you get this materia. This will, upon death, use the, magic or summon materia. I don't think it uses, command. It might. But why wouldn't you use it with a command materia? The best thing to pair with this materia is probably Phoenix. So if you die and you're the last one to die, you just revive everyone. But you only get one, final attack materia, so... be warned about that. Added effect is a materia you get in Cosmo Canyon. You can miss this materia. If you finish the Cave of the Key before getting this materia, it is permanently gone. You can never get it again. Again, Cosmo Canyon, right here. And this is a very, very strong materia. So, what added effect does, it adds status of the magic or summon materia to your weapon or armor. So let's say we equip added effect with Hades. If you go to your status, you'll see that your physical attack will now inflict all of these statuses, right? But what if you put both of them on armor? What then? Well, my friend, what that does is it gives you immunity to those. So with Hades, you can get Swago, ribbon effect. So if you don't have ribbons, you can do added effect with Hades in order to get all of this immunity. Which is still pretty good. Ribbon obviously gives more. What's my ribbon? So this is what ribbon gives in comparison to that. Ribbon gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 additional status immunities. Which is very good, but, I mean, it's still a pretty solid use of added effect. Now, if you don't have any safety bits, a good use for added effect instead is added effect with Destruct. It gives you immunity to death. Or you can put on Ogun. Where's Ogun? Where is Ogun? Ogun also does the same thing. If I recall. Yes, Ogun does do the same thing. So you can give yourself definite immunity that way. Elemental. You get 3 elemental materials in the entire game. The first one you could get from guessing the mayor's password in the Simra headquarters on the first try. You can permanently miss that materia. The second one you could get from, where is it? Mount Neville. And this one is not missable. You can get that one anytime. And the last one you get from Tifa's piano. You have to have played on Tifa's piano in Cloud's flashback in Calm. And then you have to check the piano with Tifa as your leader during Disc 2 in order to get this materia. It is missable, I believe. So you can miss 2 of the 3 elemental materias. Now, what this does is it adds the materia's element to your attack or your defense. So if you add, like, say, elemental Phoenix, you will see you get resistance. You absorb fire. The reason for the fire absorb, it depends on the elemental materia. So if it's level 1, it will only half. Level 2 nullifies. Level 3 absorbs, I believe. If I recall. Yes, I believe that's how it works. Let me make sure. I have another elemental. Yes, that is how it works. Level 4 is just, again, additional one. Where is my elemental? And this is how you get holy on your attack or defense. Same with wind. Because normally you don't have access in wind or holy. So you need Alexander or Typhoon, or you can use Chocobo for wind. I do not believe Kujata or Kajata gives any. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Kajata does not. You can usually tell what it gives if it tells you the element. Like right here, it'll give you resistance to gravity, which there's no reason to do this on armor, really. And there's really never a reason to do it on, gravity with, elemental, weapons, because it's just never really gonna happen. MP Absorb. If I recall, you get this at Wound High. If I recall. Yes, you get this with the Wound High, item shop. If you do not do the Wound High side quest with Yuffie before you go to Midgard on, Disc 2, you can permanently miss this. So, you use this with, say, magic or summon, and when you do damage, you will absorb MP. I don't think this works with, like, command. Let's find out. Let's find out if it works with command Materia. I need to find the beads first. But yeah, it heals MP on the user whenever they deal damage. Is what it does. Definitely. I don't know if it works on command Materia. It might not. It does. It restores, I believe, 1% of the damage dealt. So 1% of the damage you deal will restore the MP. So it's a nice Materia if you want to keep MP up. And if you want to kind of reduce MP costs. It's not bad. HP or someone has it. Who has it? Who has it? You have it. Some characters like to steal my Materias. Anyone else got anything that you're stealing? No? We'll go back to that in a second. Where'd it go? HP Absorb is another Materia you get in Wound High. This one I think you can also miss. No, you cannot miss this. You get this in Wound High, and you get it in the Northern Crater. So, you can get 2 copies of this. And just like the MP Absorb Materia, pairing it with Magic, Command, or Summon will allow you to absorb 1% of the damage you deal as HP. So, it's not a bad Materia. Pair it with say, I don't think it works with slash all, it might. But pair it with like Comet or a Summon Materia, and you'll restore HP. It's not a bad idea. The earliest you can get is near the end of Disc 1. The second one is at Disc 3 Endgame. Well, it's not gonna work with that, because that's instant death. My bad. So yeah, it's not a bad materia to pair up with other materias if you need to. Sneak Hack. I believe this is a materia you could get in the Chocobo Square, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, you can get this at the Chocobo race. It's a prize at the Chocobo Square. It is also very annoying to get. This is one of the more annoying materias to get. So, I think the higher the level of the materia, the higher the chance of starting a fight with the ability. So it works with any of the abilities, I believe. I don't know if it works with Double Cut, but we'll find out. It does work with Knights of the Round, I believe. So you can start a fight with Knights of the Round. It works with Master Materia. So if you just don't want to play the game, you just use Sneak Hack with the wow, it didn't actually work. Maybe it doesn't work with that materia. But we will try with like Death Blow. Not a whole lot of materia works with 4X, with Double Cut. Because Double Cut's kind of powerful. Let's try with like Death Blow. Get back over there. But yeah, you have to get from, I believe, the B or A rank Chocobo races. Or maybe it was S, I forget. It's a very strong materia though, but like, for the most part, you're not going to use it. Cloud was caught. He was caught by surprise. And there you saw Sneak Hack in effect. It's very nice for the Battle Arena, I think. I don't know if it works for each of the Battle Arena fights. What else do we have? MP Turbo. You can only get one MP Turbo, if I recall. And it is in the Whirlwind Maze at the start of, not the start, but in Disc 2. If you don't get this after defeating Genova Geth, you can miss this forever. Now what it does is it increases the MP cost by 50%. Like normally, let's say Full Cure. Not Full Cure, Cane. It's like 100 for Flare, right? But with this on, that's not what I wanted, it is now 151 for Flare. So it increases MP cost by 50%. But it increases the spell power by 50%, if I recall correctly. Oh, it's 10% for each level, so just 10% more for each level at 10% more MP cost for each level. That's what it does. My bad. It's not a bad materia, but for the most part, you're probably not going to use it that much. Magic Counter, I also believe is in the Chocobo Square. You could get a lot of these in the Chocobo Square. But you can also get one at the Northern Crater at the end of the game. So, obviously, the higher the level, the higher the chance you'll counter with a magic or summon. So if you have, like, max level, I believe that's 100% chance to counter. I think. Let me double check. Yes, it is 100% chance to counter. I have to, like, re-look at stuff because it's been a long time. Same thing with counter. Counter, I believe, is exclusively in the Northern Cave. you cannot get more of these from, anywhere else. And you can get more of these through a glitch if you really want more. Wow, I dropped frames. And the old materia, you can get many old materias throughout the game. And you can buy old materia from Fort Condor after you do the huge materia quest, if you finish the quest. Obviously, the more levels it has, the more you can cast it against all enemies. So level 1, you only get 1 use of AoE. Level 5, 5 uses of AoE. Also, if you need money, master this materia and sell it for 1.4 million gil. Why does it sell for 1.4 million? I don't know. I have no idea. It just does. Master command. You have to master all or almost all of the command materias. This includes mine, manipulate, deathblow, morph, throw, sense, steal. You have to master all of those materias. You have to get all of the huge materias, or at least 3 of them. And then you go to Cosmo Canyon on disc 3. Go to the yellow huge materia and get this. It gives you all of those command materia. Now, it will not give you throw. If you want throw, you have to add a throw materia on. As you can see, it will give you throw. It will alternate between coin and throw. But if you want just throw, you have to add the throw materia on. Now, enemy skill. There are 4 enemy skill materias in the game. One of them is in Midgar. You can permanently miss this one. It is in disc 1 after you get Red 13. You go inside the containment unit to get the materia. If you don't pick it up then, you're gonna miss it permanently. Enemy skill materia number 2 is in Junon. It is inside one of the buildings. You cannot miss this one. Enemy skill materia number 3 is at the City of Ancients at the end of disc 1. I do not remember if you can miss this one permanently. And the last one is over here. Where is it? Right here, at the Chocobo Sage. You need to hop at the Chocobo in order to get this materia. Now, enemy skill is a very, very powerful materia. It is probably the best materia in the game. So, we will go over each location of the materias. This one's missing a spell. Interesting. You have all the spells. Give me that. I wonder why this one has it, but not all the other ones. That's weird. Anyways, so you see all the abilities. You cannot get more than 4 enemy skill materias. So, all of these are very powerful. You will want to get all of these, or almost all of these. Some of these you'll never use, like Flamethrower, you don't really need to use. Goblin Punch, you'll never use. Sucker Buckle, you'll probably never use. Elf Eye Death, you'll probably never use. There's some skills here you'll never use, but Frog Song, very powerful early on. L4 Suicide, depends on what you're fighting, can be very strong. Magic Hammer, your best friend. Get it. White Wind, very powerful. Get it. Very powerful. Very powerful. Meh. Meh. You're never gonna use it. Can be useful. Strong early on. It gets outdated by the time you get to, the second continent. You're never really gonna use Bad Breath. These 3 spells right here are gonna carry you through a lot of the game. Until you get Magic Breath. And Magic Breath's gonna be your go-to unless an enemy absorbs one of these elements. Can be useful, you're probably not gonna use it very much. Never really gonna use, never really gonna use, never really gonna use, never really gonna use, not gonna use. Your strongest single target spell, and Pandora spots is like Ultima, but like, not as good as Ultima, but it's still very useful. It's still very useful. The problem with Pandora spots, you only get one shot at it. So if you don't have everyone with enemy skill on, when Pandora spots is used, whatever enemy skill you don't have on at the time, it does not get this, will never get it ever again. In addition, other enemy skills you can permanently miss is Shrine. You can permanently miss. The first time you can get this is at Mount Nibel. The second time is at, Gaia's Cliff with the, Skilva. And the very last time is with Go-Go at Loot High. And all of them are permanent, or one time only. So if you miss Shrine at any of those spots, you can never get it again. So Shrine and Pandora spots are your missable enemy skills. You can get every other enemy skill in the game. So Frog Song. So let's start at the start of the game. You get done with Midgar. Your first enemy skill is going to be right here. You're going to run it to a custom sweeper. It will have Materia magic. If you fight outside here on the grasslands, you can get L4 Suicide for the squirrel named Moon. Now you can also get another enemy skill from the Chocobo here. It's a very specific Chocobo. You must use greens on it. 2 greens. And you have to use L4 Suicide while it's eating, I believe, in order for it to use Chocobuckle. And it has to hit. The L4 Suicide has to hit the Chocobo. I forget which enemy formation it has to be. With that said, moving on. Over here in the swamp, you see this guy moving around? You fight him. Give him a half HP. He will use Beta. That's how you get Beta. Over here, the Mithril Mines, there's a dragon called the Arc Dragon, I believe. Is it Arc Dragon? I forget. But he has Flamethrower. Over here, you need the Manipulate Materia, which get later on. There's a bird called Sumsolent on the green area. Manipulate it to get White Wind. You want White Wind because it acts like an AoE Esuna, and it heals the party equal to the HP of the caster. So it's very, very strong, as long as the caster has high HP. Beta is about her Materia magic. It's also good against enemies weak to fire. Very strong. You can also get Materia magic later at Junon. where's Junon? So over here at Junon, on Disc 2, you can fight an enemy. You can also fight this enemy on Disc 1, I believe, but not really enough guys to do that. But it does have Materia magic as well. Moving along. You also need Manipulate for this, but over here at Koskagel Soul. On the beach is a weird enemy called Beach Plug. Manipulate it and have it use Big Guard on your party. This will give you AoE, Barrier, M Barrier, and Haste. Exceptionally powerful early on. Trying to think if there's anything else off again here. So we move along. And you won't get your next enemy skill until over here. When you're in, here. There, you can get Materia magic here as well from the Bull Motor. However, the enemy skill you want to get early on is from an enemy called the Deathclaw. Manipulate it, have it use Laser. Laser is just Gummy 2, but for one enemy. But it costs less to Gummy 2. Now, when you're done here and you get the buggy, go out here in the desert, and you can fight a Chimera. It's a guys who use Manipulate. You will get Manipulate at this time. Use Manipulate. Make sure you're at full HP. Make sure you have like M Barrier or Big Guard up. And use Aqua Lung. Aqua Lung is your main damage for water. Did I even see Aqua Lung in my list? Did I bypass it? I might have bypassed Aqua Lung. Yeah. No, I didn't go past Aqua Lung. I don't know how I went past that. But yeah, you get Aqua Lung here. If you don't get it here, because you do lose buggy at some point, I do believe, you can get it in the Sunken Gelnika. Or at the end of Disc 1, when you're fighting Genova Life, or is it Genova? Yes, Genova Life. You can learn Aqua Lung there. After this, you will cross over here. And in the forest, over here in the forest, you will fight frogs. They will use an ability called Frog Song. Get it from them, because you're going to want Frog Song for later on. It is a very strong spell. It inflicts sleep and frog, which is very, very useful for a couple areas coming up. Give me a second. After that, you're gonna go over here. This is I'm doing all of this from memory, so apologies if I forget any. You will not get any enemy skills until you get over to Nibelheim. In Nibelheim, inside the Sinra Manor, there is an enemy called Jersey. You have to make it... I think you have to make it, physically... Is there physical or magic aligned? And it will use an enemy skill called question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. That's how you get the enemy skill early. You can get it later on from an enemy called Behemoth near the end of the game at Midgard. I don't know if King Behemoth uses it at the end of the game. After that, you go to Mountain Evil. You can get Flamethrower from the dragon here. Then you move onwards over here on Rocket Hound. No enemy skills. Once you get the Tiny Bronco, you can go to Wuhai. And before you go inside Wuhai, over here, you can fight here. Make sure you have the Manipulate Materia. fight the Razor League, I believe they're called. Manipulate them to get Magic Hammer. Magic Hammer will replace Ethers for a good long time. Especially in some fights. And in some fights, Magic Hammer will nullify the fight outright. Now you fight all the beads, and you solve the hurdle, the Adamantium. Manipulate it and get Death Force from it. That will make you immune to instant death, which is useful in some areas. Now after Wuhai, we're gonna head all the way over here to the northern continent. And there are no enemy skills here. I don't think you could get L4 Suicide from these squirrels here. Actually, I forgot an enemy skill at Cosmo Canyon. You can get an enemy skill there, which is Death Sentence from the Geese Specters. If you don't get Death Sentence there, you can get Death Sentence over here from Ground Fat. Thinking. You can get Aqualung here at City of the Ancients. And then after that, you come out here, go all the way up to Icicle Inn, and then you get to Great Glacier. And then you get to Gaia's Cliff, which is over here somewhere. Gaia's Cliff, you can get Magic Breath from Stilva, which is the earliest you can get, if I recall. You don't have to manipulate Stilva to get it. It's recommended so you can, make sure you're not gonna die trying to get it. And you can get Shrine from Stilva if you did not get it yet. In addition, you can get Bad Breath from Malboro here. If you don't get Bad Breath now, you can get at the end of the game for Malboro. It's just more of a pain in the butt to get there. Let me think. Anything else you could get? I'm trying to think of where else you could get stuff. So it has Shrine, it has Magic Breath, it has Bad Breath. Where else can you get this? I think you can get Magic Breath. You can get Magic Breath at Endgame. So don't worry if you miss it. You can get it later. So I believe that's all the enemy skills there. After that, you go to Miguel. There's no enemy skills there. And then you can go all across the world. Some of the other enemy skills you can get Goblin Punch only over here in the forest, I believe. So you gotta go over here and fight the forest, I believe, or fight the Goblin to get Goblin Punch. I think most of the other enemy skills are in the final dungeon. If you want to get Shadow Flare easily, put all the enemy skills on one character, fight Ultimate Weapon, and make sure that the person that kills Ultimate Weapon gets hit by Shadow Flare. You can also get Shadow Flare from Ruby Weapon. But if you're looking for Shadow Flare, otherwise, you have to get in the final dungeon from the Dragon Zombie. In addition, Dragon Zombie also has Pandora spots. You have one chance to get Pandora spots. So, make sure you have all enemy skill materials on in order to get it. You can also get Magic Breath from the parasites here, and Laser from Dark Dragon. Unique enemy skills are the Pandora spots. You can also get Bad Breath here, by the way. Unique enemy skills is Roulette from the Death Dealer, Angel Whisper from the Colin Salt, L5 Death from the Parasite, I believe. Is there a Parasite or Dark Dragon? Dragon Force from the Dark Dragon. What other enemy skills were there? I need to land this so I can see what the other enemy skills are. What are the other enemy skills that I'm forgetting? You might be able to get this from King Behemoth. I forget if you can. That's it. That's all the enemy skills. So that's all the enemy skills. Where to find the enemy skill materials, and where to find all the enemy skills. Wow, that took a while to do. Mime. Mime Materia lets you mimic the last action for free, and it will target the last target too, I believe. If I recall, Mime is either over here or it's over by Wu High. And I don't think you can glitch this, right? Let me look. No. You cannot glitch this one. But Mime is a pretty strong materia. It's very useful later on when you're using Knights of the Round. So you can just cast Knights of the Round for free. Give me a second if you will. So that's Mime. Very useful later on. You get it basically end game. You can get it earlier if you do chocobo breathing, but meh. Manipulate. You only get one do you get one manipulate materia? I think you could get more. Yeah, you can buy more later on. You can actually buy more. It allows you to take control of the enemy. It's the same as the control ability for Final Fantasy V. It's how you get some of the enemy skill materials, because some enemies will never use it otherwise. And it just gives you free actions if you never physically attack it. Oh god. I am sorry for that. You stop that right now. I don't know why it's doing that. It got real crunchy, real bad. Deathblow. You can find one at, Gongaga for free. I think you can buy more. It gives you a, I believe, 50% chance to do, double damage or you miss. It's not really that useful. Morph. You only get one morph materia. And I believe you get that from... Where did you get the morph materia? Oh, you get it from the Temple of the Ancients. That's right. Temple of the Ancients, it says. So you only get one of these. If you defeat an enemy with a morph command, it does like real low damage unless you use it with Yuffie. Yuffie with the Conformer ignores the damage penalty. You will get items. Now, this is how you get specific items in the game. It's a very useful materia. So I would get this. Don't miss it. If you don't get this when you complete Temple of the Ancients, shame on you. The Throne materia. Yuffie starts with this. Can you buy more Throne materia? You can. It lets you throw weapons you have in your inventory to do damage. I would never use this because I like having all my equipment. And when you level up, it gives you coin, which is skill odds, which, meh, you're never really going to use this materia. Since you start with it on red 13, you can buy more. It lets you see the enemy's stat, HP, MP, elemental weakness, etc. It's not very useful, you don't really need it. Steel, you can first get this in Midgard, in Wall Market, after Corneo dumps you into the sewers, after apps. Very useful materia. I would suggest getting 3 of these, because steel is good, mug lets you do damage while stealing. Very useful materia. Double item. No, it says W item. W means double in Japanese in this case, if I recall. So double item, you can only get 1, and you can miss this. However, if you miss this in Midgard at the end of the game, you take the subway all the way at the opposite end, you can get this up at Bone Village, only if you miss it. So you do get a chance to get it again if you didn't already get it. It lets you use 2 items at once. And there is a glitch with this, which if you do it right, lets you get 99 of anything in the game. Anything. Well, any of the usable items. That's how I have 99 smoke bombs. And that includes elixirs, mega elixirs, etc. Double summon. Is double summon the one you get from Ballerina? It is. Double summon is 64,000 battle points to get. It lets you cast 2 summons at once, that's all it is. You only get 1. And double magic, you only get 1. It's like a final dungeon. Lets you use 2 magic spells at once. Double cut, you only get 1. You cannot miss this. It's like a Sulkin Gelnika. I would highly get this. It is gonna be your best damage move in the game. And slash all, you only get 1. It's in the Sleeping Forest or Ancient Forest. You have to defeat Ultimate Weapon or have a gold chocobo, I think, in order to get here. And that is up here. You go up here, and it's right here. Here's the Ancient Forest. This is where you get the slash all materia. Slash all's kind of not that good, though. It's not bad, but it's not good. And when you level it up, it gives you glass, which is just AoE death. Now, we get the purple materia, the independent materia. So, HP swap MP. It changes your HP MP. Why you would ever need to do this, I don't know. This materia is the one that is over here, north of Corral. You need a river chocobo, so I think that's the blue chocobo to get here. Or you can use a black chocobo to go around the mountains to get over here. I don't know why you would ever need to use this materia, like ever. Like, you use it and you make yourself like super weak, HP wise. Cover. And perhaps an ally from physical attacks. If you equip 3 master cover materials, or if you make cover go above 255%, it will overflow and it will go back to 0%. Also, cover protects against like elixir for some reason. I don't know why. So be careful with that. Underwater materia. You can buy the cover materia. Underwater. In order to get the underwater materia, you have to go to the underwater tunnel in Yunnan on Disc 2. You need to morph materia, and you need to morph the ghost ship into a guidebook. Take the guidebook all the way back to Calm. Calm is the first town you visit on the world map. So Calm is over here. This is Calm. You go here with the guidebook. You go upstairs to a dude, and you trade the guidebook with the underwater area. Now what this does is... Ricker hates something. What this does is it removes the time limit for the emerald weapon fight. Which, I mean, you know, you don't really need it. If you're playing for the first time, you can use it, but you don't really need it. Counter! Counter! You can find this at the Mithril Mines. And if I recall, you can actually get more of these in the Chocobo Square. However, they have it marked as counter and not counter attack in the Chocobo Square. Oh no, you get this for being a Materia Keeper. I'm thinking of the wrong one. There's another Materia you get from, there's another Materia you get at, the Mithril Mines. Give me just a second. It's a very strong materia. I would put it on, like, Cloud or Barret. But you can put it on whoever. It's a good materia to have on, especially for bosses. It's not good if you're waiting on a specific move. You can combine this with cover, and that will give you cover a counter, which gives you more chances to counter. Mega All. You can duplicate this, but you only get one normally. This is in the final dungeon. It gives you the same effect as the old materia, but on magic and command materia. It's not really that useful. There's no need for it, really. I mean, if you want to do, like, Morph All, it's useful on Yuffie, but otherwise, it's not really that great. Long range, you get one of these at the higher game. This is what you get in the Mithril Mines. It makes it so that you can be in the back row without suffering back row penalties. So you can do full damage. You can target enemies that are flying. And you get the damage reduction in the back row while having this materia on. So this is useful for, like, Cloud, Barret if he's using his non-long range weapons for some reason. Aerith, Tifa, Sig, and Repertine. Preemptive, you get this from Chocobo Race. It just gives you chances of first strike. Chocobo Lure, you get 2 of these in the game. The first time, you get from the, Chocobos. Or, you buy it for 2,000. You buy it for 2,000 gil. I don't know if this one is missable, but you can find another one outside the Chocobo Pen after, you get the high win. Enemy Lure, Enemy Away, I believe those are both for Battle Square. They just increase or decrease the encounter rate. Gil Plus and EXP Plus, those you trade in, gold saucer points you get. You only get one of each, I believe. So it gives you, like, more money, like 50% more than double, 50% more than double EXP. Luck Plus, you get in the Temple of the Ancients. If you miss this, you cannot get this again. So don't miss it. So it increases luck. Magic Plus, I believe you find all the way to Icicle Inn. Speed Plus you get from, is it the Chocobo Square again, or is that the Battle Square? It might be the Battle Square. It is from the Battle Square, like with the enemy lure, enemy away materials. So it's, all of these materials are good. I would highly recommend them. I recommend these more than most other materia. HP plus, MP plus, you can buy them starting at Cosmo Canyon. I would buy the HP MP plus. They're very good. They're so useful. They will keep you alive. And that's it for the independent materia. That was quick. So, summon materia, the last bit. So, master summon. You have to master all of the summon materias. Most of the summons are one time only, so that's going to make it difficult. Then, you must get at least 3 of the huge materias to get a red huge materia. And then you, go there and get the master summon. It gives you unlimited use of all the summons in the game. Normally with the summons, the amount of times you can use them is based on the level. So in Knights Ground, you would get 4 use of. A Master Bahamut 0, 5 use. And as you can see, they really give you a lot of magic defense, and MP, but they really hurt your HP. So, Knights of the Round, you need a gold Chocobo for. You could get one from A, Chocobo Breathing, which takes time, or B, defeat Ruby Weapon, and then trade in the Desert Harp at Calm, and the guy with the guidebook, who get a gold Chocobo. And then you must go all the way up here to this cave and get Knights of the Round. That is the only way to get Knights of the Round. You sold Bahamut 0, you must get all the huge materia from Corel, Junon, Rocket Hound, and Fort Condor in order to get the last huge materia, which will give you Bahamut 0. If you miss Bahamut 0, I believe you can dig it up at Bone Village. It is permanent. It cannot be missed because of that. Let me check here. I want to check. Where is Bone? Why does it not give me a link to Bone Village? Why you not give me a link to Bone Village? Okay, so that's weird. I don't know why it's not giving me a link to Bone Village. So that's how you get Bahamut 0. You have to either get all 4 huge materias, and then get it from the last huge materia, or you get it up from Bone Village. What's next? Typhoon. You find this at the Ancient Forest after defeating Ultimate Weapon. Hades is in the Sunken Galnica. Neo Bahamut, you cannot miss these guys. So these guys cannot be missed. Near Bahamut, you can miss. This is in the Whirlwind Maze. When, you're heading to, it's after, Gaia's Cliff at the North Continent. Phoenix! You can get this from, the huge Materia quest at Fort Condor. If you do not get this, you can get this up at Rome Village if you also got the front line. So you cannot miss this otherwise. Alexander is in Great Glacier. You have to fight a boss to get it. There's a roundabout way you have to do to fight the boss. Kijana is in the Sleeping Forest. It will be moving around. You have to actively go after it to get it. Bahamut, you can miss this. It's in Temple of Ancients after you beat the Red Dragon. Leviathan. You can permanently miss this, I believe, if you do not do the Wu High quest. I think you can miss this. Ogun. You cannot miss this. It is at the Sinra Manor in a safe. Open the safe, defeat lost number. You'll get this. Titan. You will find this at Gongaga at the ruined reactor. Ramu. You can miss this at the Gold Saucer. The first time, when you're in the Chocobo jockey area, make sure to pick this up. Ifrit, you can miss this after you defeat Genoka Birth at the cargo ship. It will drop this. Get this before you leave. Siva, I believe you can permanently miss if you do not save Priscilla. I believe Priscilla can die. Chocomog, I believe you can miss this if you don't hop the Chocobos and go work. That's the only way to get that. And that's all the materia in the game. So if you want some interesting materia combinations, let's say you want to give like a Hank effect. So let's do something like, say, this, and let's say you want to have more of a Hank effect. Elemental. You can only do one element this way, but let's say we put on elemental fire, and then let's say we put on, like, say, a couple covers. You don't need a couple covers, but a good old Hank effect. Then we will put on, say, a counter with say, Death Blow, and then let's say we put on Final Attack and this. So this would be more like a Hank build. So, here's the thing about counters. You can only have 8 counters, period. So say you have 8 counter attacks, and then you have, like, counter. It will prioritize whatever's in front first. So it will prioritize, it will go in order of this, and then it will go in order of this. So if you have, like, 8 counter attacks first, and then you have counter, it will do the 8 counter attacks. It will never read the counter. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 counters. So if we put more counters on, that's all the counters we get. So, with this build, we have 100% cover. So if they get attacked by physical, they will cover it. Then you get 5 regular counter attacks, and then you will counter with Death Blow. You have protection against Sleep, Poison, Confuse, Silence, Frog, and Small, and you absorb fire with Elemental Ifrit, or whatever element you want. And if this character dies, if they have final attack with Phoenix, it will revive everyone. So this is a very good Hank build. If you're not worried about Elemental, I would highly suggest putting on something like, say, HP Plus and where is it? Long range. So if you have long range on, you can just stick them in the back row, so they take half damage. And if you want them to take even less damage, you use Tranquilizer, which will give them 33% damage reduction on top of 50% damage reduction of the back row. So you can make them super hanky that way. So there's all of that. Obviously, if you're gonna go like the ultimate route, you're gonna have Master Magic, Master Command, and Master Summon on the same character. Down here, you would have an HP Plus. You will have an MP Plus, a long range, for Master Magic, you would put on, like, say, all. Master Summon, you would put on Quadra Magic. Down here, you will put on your best enemy skill. You will put on Double Cut. And you will put on Double Summon, Double Iron, and Double Magic. And if you really want to, do I have Double Cut on? Yes. You can put on HP Absorb or MP Absorb. Where'd my MP Absorb go? So you do something like this. You have access to all magic, all command, all summons. Summons can be quad-casted. Magic can be AoE. You absorb HP or MP with commands. You can double cast magical summons. You can use 2 items. You have higher HP MP. You can be in the back row, and you have enemy skill, which should give you a lot more utility. And double cut, which gives you a lot of damage. So this is like the ultimate loadout. This is what you might see at endgame. Obviously, change this as you will. If you feel like you don't need, like, that, or that, you could be like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna act like a whole bunch of, like, counter attack, just so I get more extra damage. Or if you don't think you need, like, any of that, you can add on, like, say, extra stat boosters. You can add on probably more elemental or active effect stuff. Sneak attack if you feel like you want to start a fight with something. But honestly, I go with like counter, HP, MP, long range, stat boost. So there's some stuff there. So, got some combos you can do. You can also do something like elemental, say, not elemental, yeah, elemental, I don't know, fire, and then, where is it? Active effect, destruct, and if you have another active effect, that's added cut. Active effect, Hades. So now you're doing a whole bunch of status effects here. You got a couple elemental stuff. Well, you have fire on your element. Where is it? You can add, skill as well, and whatever you want. So, this gives you, that's the wrong thing. Now you have an element in your weapon, which could be a good or bad thing. I probably wouldn't put it on a weapon. But now you got, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 statuses you can inflict with, regular attacks now. Which is pretty good. You probably won't see this until endgame either. If you want to make, like, a counter build, well, obviously, you're going to do something like, cover, counter, and let's say you want to do, like, counter, oh, well, not fair, counter, magic counter, and then we throw on counter, we're going to throw on, like, say, death blow. Magic counter is going to be, like, say, I don't know, Ultima, if it was leveled up. We are going to put on, like, Acid Cut, and Acid Cut's going to be put on, like, say, actually, we're going to put Acid Cut on Death Blow. So Acid Cut's going to be on, like, Death Blow. And then say you do counter with, counter with, I don't know, counter with Comet. Oh, that's with command, sorry. It has to be a command materia, so, that really makes it really restrictive then. And if you want to stack effects on, like, say you want to do Acid Cut with Death Blow, and counter with Death Blow, so you counter with Death Blow, but then you get the extra attack whenever you use Death Blow yourself. So you can counter with Death Blow, say it's do extra damage, and then whenever you use Death Blow, you'll do a regular attack afterwards, so it covers for Death Blow if it misses. So you get 3 regular attacks, or 2 regular attacks, if you cover, and then if you get hit while covering, you counter, Death Blow counter, magic counter with Comet. So you can do like a big old string of counters. It's not too complicated. Let's say you want to do one more thing. Let's say you want to do like, I'm gonna hit everything. All you gotta do is this. That will give you like hit all on everything. You probably don't even need slash all, honestly. Early game is not really gonna matter what you do. All is gonna be used a lot with like lightning, fire, ice, but you might use it a lot with restore. So honestly, I think that's all I have for Materia. And some Materia combinations. You can do some other wild stuff with Materia combinations, but a lot of the Materia stuff, it's kind of just player preference. honestly, a lot of materia you might not even use, especially once you get good at the game. You'll find out that, okay, a lot of these materias I don't really need, because some of the other materias just outright replaces them. Like, if you know how to do enemy skill, you'll even need a good portion of materia. Like, fire gets replaced by beta pretty hard for most of the game. Anyways, I will say, until next time, everyone, hopefully this has been a learning experience for you. I will probably try to do more, guides like this later on. Maybe I'll show where you can get all the items. However, I would like to do this in, not the game, in the version I'm playing. If I had the remaster version, I would do it there. But, I don't. And, this game's very crunchy with audio for some reason. It might be because of the, stuff I'm using for it. I don't know. Anyways, I will say, until next time, everyone, whenever that may be, hopefully this guide has been helpful for you, and I will see you whenever I see you for the next guide. I will say, I don't know why I was angry the whole time. I will say, until then, everyone, whenever that may be.